keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. 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 Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account or Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
It's yet again time for ESL Challenger League Season 50. You currently tuned into the European Cup 2 as we take to the lower bracket. My name is Pavlos, and together with Ted, we'll be taking you through all the action that we have in store for us. Man, how you feeling? How you doing?
I'm feeling great. I really am. I was gonna say I'm feeling. Thank you for a second there. That's overused at this point, but I'm really looking forward to today, Pavlos. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've got some pretty exciting Counter-Strike coming up. We're already delving into the deep ends of that double elimination bracket here, and we've got. I feel like every single game we've got until the end of the tournament pretty much is. It has all the potential to be an absolute banger, including the one that we're gonna be watching today.
Yeah, let's have a look at the bracket though, Ted, because we are currently looking at that lower end of things. Obviously, you know, we've got some really strong competitors here at this lower end. Obviously, you know, the match that we have at hand, it feels like we are at a very dangerous point, right? You've got some contenders that as soon as they enter this cutthroat situation, they've got a lot to deal with.
Yeah, there's a lot of reputable names, right? And that double elimination bracket, there's just so many teams, right? So you can't get past the fact that there's going to be a couple disappointed lineups along the way. I feel like ENCE is one to point out. OG obviously been a good point. Them losing to Hodo was a bit of a surprise, but I think for both Sangal and FUT, considering that they've been hitting some good form lately, they've been playing good Counter-Strike, especially for that Sangal lineup and the core coming out of Astrum that have been going through a couple. Let's say they've been facing adversity since the start of 2025. I feel like it's a bit of a relief to finally get a couple wins under their belt. So for both those teams, this is quite an important matchup.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario, isn't it? Two Turkish organizations in a way, and you've got a mix of a CIS roster, and then you've also got a mixed European one on the other. But let's talk about the Qiddiya player to watch here, Ted, to get things rolling. Demon, he's been on an absolute roll this past while.
No, he's an absolute beast, right? And that's one of the main changes on that FUT lineup as well, right? A lot of people are looking at the fact that Makaze obviously got promoted from Navi Junior into the main Navi lineup, and then they experiment a little bit with Misuta, but he doesn't quite cut it in the same way that Makaze did. So you bring in Lau and X, and you're like, well, that tickles my fancy a little bit. Well, Demon has actually stepped up his game massively. For someone that used to just be quite a passive lurker and an anchor on the CT side, he's still an anchor on the CT sides, but T side wise, you can see a massive race when it comes down to opening kill attempts, the fact that he's taken a lot more initiative and he's displaying that incredible individual form. I feel like he's probably one of the most underrated players in Tier 2 Counter-Strike nowadays.
Yeah, you absolutely need to pay attention to Demon, but he doesn't have an easy task on his hands when it comes to openers as well, because if you compare him to Dennis, the high impact AWPer from Sangal, he's also been racking up the numbers lately. You can see on the rating score, boasting up a solid 1.12. Always seems to be that big part of the conversation, and you know when Sangal get the economy economy rolling in the right direction. When that big green is in play, Dennis will be there for you.
Yeah, that's the reason you keep Dennis on the lineup when you brought in the Astrum core, right? Obviously, Griggs got bought out from Astrum over to Heroic. We're not going to talk about how that one worked out, but in the end of the day, there is a reason that Dennis is still in here. We're going to move into the veto really soon here, Pavlos, and I feel like this is going to be where things get really interesting. I was kind of talking to you about this before we went live. I am looking forward to watching Sangal for one reason and one reason only. Well, not only, but mainly the fact that they play a whole lot of Overpass. And as you know, I do love a whole lot of Overpass, and they do play it a whole lot. They do win it a whole lot. They've won it 14 out of the last 16 times. I don't see a way that Overpass doesn't get included in today's veto. And other than that, both those teams do play pretty similar maps, right? They both like an Ancient, they like a Mirage, maybe a Nuke on a really good day, but you're looking at a couple maps that they could go toe-to-toe when it could be a really interesting game.
Yeah, you start to wonder where FUT look to tell their direction in terms of bans as well. You're limited though at the start, right? You're limited, so you don't know where that direction will go. But looking at the first ban as we jump into the veto, Dust2 and Train, the usual suspects for the both teams are
there you
out.
go.
And indeed, Overpass first in. Yeah, there's no beating around the bush here. Want to get that one going in the right direction with all the teams they've been beating. Want to do it up against FUT as well. Ancient being FUT's pick, and you know, it's not one of those maps that Sangal dislike. Like you said, it's a similar you know, playing ground for each as we move into a Mirage for our decider, Ted.
Yeah, that one looks like a really evened up veto, doesn't it? I feel like there's a lot of surprises that could be brought into play. Obviously, Ancient was and probably still is the trademark map for that FUT core, even when they were still called Navi Junior, because of Makaze to some extent, but Low and X I think is fitting in nicely. Overpass is an incredibly interesting one though, right? Because you're looking at a Sango team that has been absolutely dominating Tier 2 Counter-Strike within Overpass, and then you're looking at a FUT lineup that has 3 maps on it. One time they lost to Spirit Academy, another time they beat Spirit Academy, and then their most recent one, which was their last one on the 31st of August, they absolutely demolished Bedboom in a 13-3 fashion on Overpass. So as much as I really want to get hyped up for Sangal on this map, I can't help to think that FUT could actually surprise us on here. The fact that they're going to start things off on the CT side, the fact that they get the ball rolling early on, maybe if Symmetry has a good game, they might have a chance.
Indeed, and there's no delaying this, folks. We're jumping right into the action. It's FUT getting things going on the CT side as Sangal will be the aggressors. Let's get into this one. This one's about remaining in the tournament. You lose it and you're out.
Yeah, it's a pretty basic start on the pistol round coming out of FUT. You just have a solo player spotting in towards middle. That's going to be Symmetry playing this one with a double flash kit as well. Sango taking their time with that walk-up connector with the bomb. Ducks. Gotta be careful, doesn't really feel like he's gonna get challenged, though it still is looking like a slower split in towards that A-bomb side.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit difficult to read, but you do now hear the footsteps approaching. Flashes out as well. You've got Symmetry close by to it. Demon also in assistance if needed, and there's some chip shots coming through. But with a flash out, you will realize soon that Symmetry is in the angle. You didn't quite clean it. Oh, a triple to get things going. Oh, Symmetry! Kubani helps you out, pull off the flawless round to get things going for FUT, but Symmetry running hot.
That is absolutely amazing out of Symmetry. That's why this guy was so hyped up by so many people towards the start of the year and the end of the first season. Look at those clean shots out of him. The bait was perfect, by the way, to make them all look towards the back of the bomb side. All of them blindsided, but look at how clean those USP shots are.
That's ridiculous. Getting things going like that. How it couldn't begin any better for FUT right now.
Nope. Oh, that's not fun. That's not fun for Sango.
Hey, it's just early doors though, and they do go for a force buy of their own, even though no bomb plant or pick goes their way. Tech9's Deagle. Then he's choosing the handgunning as the pistol of choice for this one. There is a little bit of commotion towards his right-hand side, right? A bit of a poke and prod in B.
Yeah, still an exciting team, Sangal, right? Despite of being a CAS team, Norway as an in-game leader is bringing a really aggressive kind of method to the madness, right? He likes his quick counter-strike, a lot of set pieces, a lot of, I guess, methodical rounds, but good switch up with the pace. So he's not going to be as stagnant. He's not going to be as slow in the way that he's calling.
It's a fun project as well, bringing the Aurora core back together.
Yeah.
It's something I think many were looking forward to.
Yeah, I feel like the addition of Rizal has really strengthened them up as well, right? He's been playing with them for a little bit over a month now. Obviously, he was one of the most hyped up players out there, like 2 years ago when he made his debut with Forza in Pro League.
And we'll see if he have the impact that he'll need today. For the roster, Symmetry already had a quad piece the previous round, and he's allowed the bomb to go down. So with Sangal taking these post-plant positions, could get a little bit difficult, but...
Ooh, taking space.
Taking their time. Smokes fade. Surprise, but the MP9 will have it. Somehow Patsy doubles up, and this could get a little bit dangerous if you find another pick.
No kid.
There's a looming danger with Patsy being in the back line. You've got to be cautious. Push comes to shove, and Patsy continues to rain fire on his opponents. Both remaining players from the CT side are low.
No time.
Benny and Lorne X don't have time to get onto the defuse. How does Patsy do this single-handedly? Benny able to hold the line, and there's just enough to get that bomb defused. Holy moly, that was cutthroat.
They actually did pick up a kid from the ground, right? They didn't have it initially. Lorne X picks it up, and he gets tagged down so much. That gets incredibly scrappy because of the double kill out of Patsy. And that was the tricky part for Sangal as well, right? It's one thing getting onto the bomb side, but considering that was just a half-buy, you don't really have a lot of veto, so you need to get aggressive. You need to go pushing, and Patsy just goes absolutely nuclear with the triple. Unfortunately, the buddy system was good enough, but considering they went into this one with a force buy without a bomb plan in round 1, this is a great result for Sangal, making him sweat.
Definitely keeping FUT's economy malleable, and in a position that where he can be broken pretty damn quick.
There you go.
Symmetry. AK 51252347.
Yeah, I love the nickname.
I don't know if that's a reference of anything, but yeah, you do appreciate a player that keeps his name in the, you know, correct Lorne X Benny. Shout out.
You know what that is? That's old school Counter-Strike, where you join and you watch GoTV Open qualifiers and close qualifiers.
You try and figure out
they're
who's
just yeah, exactly. They're just
One's
using
called
random
Bob the
names.
Builder, the other's Bob, you know, SpongeBob SquarePants. For some reason, both those characters are called Bob.
Bob is a great name.
Yeah. Comes from the name Robert, and like you came to that realization a couple of days ago, didn't you, Ted?
Yeah, I still can't believe it. If my name was Robert and someone would call me Bob, I would be losing my mind.
Really? I don't think it's that bad, man. I really don't think it's that bad. Anyway, back into the round itself, though. Sangal, there's their first bite. Patsy already down to 60 points of health due to that HU grenade. Need to be a little bit more cautious about that. FUT are notorious for these early push and pulls, which Sangal seem to respect so far.
Yeah, quite aggressive in the short control, right? And you can see that's going to be a pattern for Sangal, still being a little bit, I don't want to say worried, but cautious with the way that they're taking space in towards that A-bomb side. They know that FUT like playing that proactive Counter-Strike, especially at the start of the round, so you don't want to overplay your hand in towards middle and towards long. Don't want to give yourself out too much. Good thing is, there is no AWP currently on that CT side, so Sangal could even take a lot of space here on pure contact, but Benny's got a funky position in play, especially if Symmetry is able to take first point from map.
Yeah, Sangal choosing the wide open space of Park. And Krabeni,
seen him.
Got an outside presence. Surely he must know there's something awkward going around here. Calls for reinforcements, but Denise also is flashed out of angle. No, it was actually Symmetry. And for that reason, that's 2 picks to nothing. Sangal, great openers. You pretty much will be relying from Lorne X here, but there is flames everywhere. At least gets one. But on his attempt to drop backwards, gains some extra cover. Result just drops in, gets a double, and this round should already be over.
You're already calling this one off if you're Ducks. Might even get hunted down, by the way. Result is going all the way in towards bank. It's really important for Ducks to be able to hold on to that M4. I mean, it's they still should be alright monetarily, but if you drop one over to Demon, I don't think he's going to be unhappy about it. That entire setup just gets absolutely undone before everything starts, and Result will even close it out with a 4-piece. Absolutely beautiful out of him.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, Ted, about the economy being a little bit more malleable. Sure, you've got to buy in you this time, but if Sangal get 2 in a row here, this is just back to square one.
Yeah, and if you're Sangal, you should realize that this is no panic stations. The fact that you lose the pistol, you go for a force buy, you get a couple kills in a bomb plant, but you lose the round, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're on a bad start. Quite the opposite. You still do have a lot to play for here. The half has just started, and this is bloody overpass, so anything could happen on the second half. You get 4 or 5 rounds on the T side, you're going to be pretty happy.
Already looking to put some pressure up in short. Nothing of the sort from FUT this time around, though. Holding back, Triple B set up for them. It's for good measure. Symmetry having his eye out on Connector as well, but that's not where he'll firstly be approached from, right? You can see Rita also joining in from Fountain. Oh, that pixel play doesn't quite connect, but that's really important information to figure out where the AWP is.
Ooh, whoever with the first shot, Symmetry. Gotta be careful with this one. He's going for a little bit more. Thing is, do they realize there is another player rotated towards the back of the bomb side? Lonex is already in there.
Krabeni's darting towards this position. It might leave the B side a little bit more exposed, and I think that's what Sangal are banking for. Look at their own rotates.
Yeah, they're going back. The CTs are just playing this one on a bit of a, I don't want to say on retake, but they've gotten the kill onto result. This is massive. The T's know that they need to go for the play now. Otherwise, they're just risking into walking into a stack.
Krabeni's been running all round long, and now he's going to be on the B site at the right moment, at the right time. Posted up with Demon, where he's the one to get the first pick of this engage. Patsy, low. Oh, this awkward fight is still going on, but somehow it's still going though for Sangal.
What?
They're keeping it running. The bomb ends up going down, but Danny's got a lot on his hands. The three grouped up players from FUT should be able to get this under control. Dennis won't be able to survive for long, courtesy of Lorne X and FUT recover. Clean retake, but it all begun with the first picks.
It all begins with the first picks, but I'm loving the proactive counter-strike out of the CT side, right? This is the one thing we should be looking at. The fact that FUT, in the middle of the round, they just get the timing perfectly. You block in Monster late with a re-smoke in towards it. Then you rotate a third player back A. You re-aggress with the AWP. You find that kill into the player in towards Flower Pot. That is when the B players open up the distance, deploy the U2, and just start playing for time. Rotations arrive. You're just playing perfect Counter-Strike right now on that CT side, or at least in that previous round. And the fact that Krabeni is able to stay alive in towards water for such a long time is an absolute difference maker. It is an interesting, I guess, topic with FUT. How mature can they become in their approach to the game, right? Because we all know they love hyperactive, proactive, really aggressive Counter-Strike. The big question here is, can they find the middle ground? Can they be patient at times?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I feel like throughout FUT's progress and from the various iterations they've gone through, whether that was the Na'Vi Junior to ex-Na'Vi Junior to now FUT, we've slowly seen, you know, some highs and lows from them and how they adapt throughout them, and there is some maturity. I feel like when you would first come into contact with these guys, you wouldn't think that they're 16, 17 years old. Sure, you've got you know, Krabeni in there who's 20 and Lornex as well, but that's still pretty young, and for that to be the oldest in the squad, there is a level of maturity around that you cannot deny.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it is only, I guess, fair when you've got a group of young teenagers that can just shoot heads left, right, and center, right? You expect them to be playing proactive Counter-Strike. You expect those guys to be high on that confidence train. That's exactly what we're seeing out of them. But Sangal, on the other hand, they have a lot more experience, right? You're looking at guys like Result, as we pointed out, made his debut in ESL Pro League a couple years ago with Forza, and everyone was kind of struck by how sharp he was as an anchor player back in the days. Klax obviously has been around and about for a while. Patsy, can't forget, played a couple major playoffs.
Counter-terrorists win.
All right, well,
Unfortunately, we've lost him.
yeah, it looks like the server's going to be reset, so we're going to have to wait a little while to see how that one will go. But we'll be throwing this one to a break, and we'll be back as soon as humanly possible. Well, thankfully that didn't take too long, did it, Ted? Quick server switch, and everyone's back online and ready for action. Look at the push out from Symmetry, though. He's looking for something cheeky.
All right, man. Let's see what you've got. Hope's looking for something. No one's holding it for as long as of right now. They're all turning around, and he's going to pick up the first one. Lonex in the meantime going 1-for-1 in Symmetry with a bit of a bad miss, though, and it will cost him his life.
That's going to be a little bit tough. You can see that Kribeni is trying to keep this close distance to the Sangal players. There was a distraction early on from Lonex, but it doesn't seem to fade the Sangal T's.
Not sure if they've seen him. They seem to realize there could be a third player, but they haven't really engaged into a fight with him yet.
I mean, it was Kribeni's flash that got everything going, so it's likely.
Ooh.
But catching the timing on him is even better. Now Sangal have got the jump on their opponent's pole position, and their eyes set on A.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. 50 seconds on the clock, though. They're rotating a second player. Demon has been spotted out, decides to swing for the fight. They're both going to be here. Do the T's really want to commit? I'm not sure they do.
A Hail Mary play. It's a pivot.
One's going back.
They're keeping them engaged, though. There's going to be a fully open B site for Denise to take his sweet time to put the bomb into the ground, punching in the numbers, and there is no distraction around. This is clean. I wouldn't be surprised if FUT just call it off.
I think they already have, yeah. It's an intelligent read to the situation out of Sangal, right? The moment that you spot out Demon going for such a fight in towards the A-bomb site, you're thinking, well, in a 2 versus 3, what is the most logical thing that those two CTs could do? Potentially try and stay together, right? Try and play this situation as a unit, so... we just throw in all the util that we can, put a little bit of pressure on Demon, make sure that Zerx, even if he wasn't already in towards that A-bomb side, is going to be tempted to rotate and help out his teammate. We just send the bomb carrier back towards that B-bomb side. So this is Sangal now getting a second round on the T side. The save will be good enough with the big green as well. But as we pointed out, Sangal starting to kick things off here on what is their forte and has been for a while. The fact that they have been able to, since the start of August, play 18 maps on Overpass.
Oh, I love this angle.
It's phenomenal.
We get to see it all from the beginning, and it was indeed a distraction play from Lonex, but they didn't quite go to plan. You can't help but feel, Ted, that if the second kill did connect for Symmetry, we'd be having a totally different conversation now.
Yeah, it's just straight up unfortunate. The setup was good. The aggressive play is fine. Lonex going 1-for-1. Symmetry is able to get his first kill. It would have been a different round probably, but you know what? Better to get those misses out of the system early on, and Symmetry has been having a good game so far. 9-3 for the young man on the OP.
True.
It's all about making sure that those don't occur too often, especially on a map like Overpass, right? You want to take advantage of the CT side, but the fact that you're up against Dannison, he's been the highest rated player of Sangal when it comes down to Overpass. The majority of it, obviously, because of that CT side. But still, even on the T side, the moment he gets the OP in his hands, he could be really impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, during the tech pause, we get a moment to slow things down a bit, get a breather. Hope everybody's been having a great day. And yeah, I mean, look, there is no better day for a Counter-Strike. Obviously, every day is a day of Counter-Strike. I don't, you know, there's so many games going on, so many tournaments, but, you know, ESL Challenger League will always be that constant to look back on. A proving ground, and I feel like it's a badge of honor for teams that are able to get to the top of this league as well. A sign that a tier 2 team can make the jump to the upper level.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for a group of players that have been part of the tier 1 circuit before. We started speaking about Patsy before the previous technical timeout, but Patsy himself has been around for such a long time, and I think he still has a lot to give to the game. The fact that he's just 22 years of age is absolutely mind-boggling for me. Of course, he was part of that Spirit lineup between 2021 and 2023 that made the semi-final of the PGL Major in Antwerp, the quarterfinals in Rio in 2022 as well. And just like that, I think we're back.
It does look like it.
Yeah.
Symmetry did have enough to invest for a second round into that big green, but it's forced out of position. Sangal really aggressive with the nades early.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. You should still know there could be an op on the other side of things. I'm not sure Symmetry realizes how close they can be. He's made a couple steps.
No one's checking. this direct contract. Ooh, and he's backed off, and it's just on time, by the way. Oh, he sniffs out that something could be going on. Norway with the opener, and that is the A site access given to Sangal. Oh dear, and Norway smells blood. Wants to go in for more, but Demon able to hold his on. Is that enough though? 2v3 with Sangal having numbers.
Absolutely not. You've already called this one off. You've just been caught off guard. That timing was phenomenal.
Oh man, so many elements to this. And it's actually a 2v4. It felt like Result was a dead man there, but no, held on to his life. Insane, man. It's all down to these openings. Sangal have got the timings nailed down, and you kind of get a grasp of why they're so damn strong on a map like this.
Yeah, those are the signs of a team that knows what they're doing, right? One of the main conversations that you're going to have with Overpass is that you can make the difference between a good team and an average team based on their T sides, right? This is a good team. This is what a good team looks like. Able to deal with the aggressive setups, recognizing where players could be repositioning later on into the round, making some good late round calls, and in a round like this one, having, I guess, the audacity to switch it up completely, go for a little bit of quick utility, make sure that you've pushed the upper back, then take the chance to push through the toilets position. Knowing where Symmetry was at all times, you just catch him completely off guard the moment that the Uto comes out. The smoke in towards the dumpster wasn't even fully out the moment that Norway did go for that initial peak, so Symmetry is just not ready for the timing of it.
But going back to the cookie cutter of every start for Sangal, and it starts very nicely for them, but instead of waiting for the smokes to dissipate, they walk right through them, and they walk right past their opponents as well. Might even want to consider the adjective walk on them, because they've been stampeded on. FUT had no chance in holding that one. Sure, you're up against pistols here, but it was so damn clean from the Sangal side.
Might consider the adjective jump on them, because they literally, that's what they did in this round. Again, yeah, they've been styling on them. Obviously, that wasn't a full investment coming out of the CT side, so now we get to see them back on the M4s, but there's some really impressive little things in the game of Sangal that make an impression. The way that you know there's one player trapped with a rifle in towards water, you just pause, turn around, hold for the connector, push. You're trying to isolate all the fights before you deal with Zux, knowing that everyone else is going to feel like they're in a rush to help him.
And slowly but surely, Sangal having a firm grip over this T side. And if you're FUT, you've got to be a little bit cautious, right? You need some cushioning going into your own aggressive side. And there are only just a few rounds remaining on this, 4 altogether.
Look at the switch up. Same protocol utility in towards the A-bomb side. You're just making sure they're not over-aggressive though. You're letting the CTs go forward if they want to. And you are grouping up for a B play. Now, FUT have been running a lot of 3-man setups in towards A since the start of this. I guess this is what you're hoping for once again. You still might want to send Passy on a bit of a scouting mission.
Flash out for Patsy, but quickly putting his head underwater. Jugs around. But it's Demon that holds his own, and Krebeni having the high ground as well allows for the trade back. Suddenly Sangal under a bit of trouble and a bit of stress as well. Krebeni getting the jump on Patsy, but just some damage across, realizing there's someone that could be coming in from behind, but it's just not enough to deal with Symmetry. And Krebeni still a looming danger. Lonex jumps in right on time, and it's the distraction play, a classic one for FUT that turns to work out for them.
That one gets a little bit scrappy though, right? The moment that Klax is able to get that first kill, everything comes down to individual fights. Good work coming out of Symmetry as well. Quick rotations out of the CT side. It felt like Sangal were going to be able to make a round out of this, and I don't really mind it. Going for a bit of a monster walk, trying to experiment when you know they probably don't really have enough money for an up on the other side of things, so you're favoring your chances with the AKs. And now again, I mean, you lose the round, but you get 3 kills. You know Symmetry is not going to be equipped with a big green. Danis, he still has the money.
It's crazy.
It's still dangerous for the CTs. Really, really dangerous.
Yeah, it was the previous round as well. You started to wonder, what if they get reset once again? Because that allows a lot more space to Sangal.
Yeah, I mean, still a possibility, right? Look at the reserves, I guess, financially. Krebeni's the richest one on 1350, and then you've got Zux on 900, you've got Symmetry with 200, and Lonex with $50. Demon's broke.
Lavatories punished, or at least engaged with here from Sangal. A few smokes and mollies sent in Symmetry's position. But other than that, we'll walk out onto the park again. Resol's being noisy. And Dennis catches Symmetry on the jump peak. Lornex has got a response. But you need a little bit more than that. You need to buy time for the rest of the team to arrive. You've got Krebeni having your back, and he will be able to win his individual fight, but you do lose your instant holder. Demon, he playing aggressive here. Cax, though, reads it on time. Oh, this is getting a bit scrappy, Ted. Jugs knows he needs to play in his opponent's faces. And indeed, he does get the interruption. 2v2 with Krebeni lurking.
Eyes on Krebeni, though. He's repositioned in towards middle, and there is a smoke right now isolating Dugs, but it's all about the timing. When do they realize that Krebeni's not in towards long?
Oh, Dennis' position could be the most impactful one here. Patsy, instead, is able to surprise Krebeni, trying to allow his team to walk out into the site. Doesn't quite happen to plan for first. Sangal, clean hold with 2 players left.
Yeah, those rounds are all going down to the wire, and you can see the hold once again. Big props to Krebeni, actually. The moment that the execution comes in and so many players get spotted in towards Banana in the toilets, he realizes there's probably just a single man throwing all that Yuto from long, so he picks up that fight. Gives them a bit of an opportunity, but we've seen a lot of good mid to late rounds actually coming out of Patsy, which is interesting, considering he's usually the guy to run him first and storm a bomb site. And providing a lot of impactful multi-kills. In fact, all of them have been. Look at that kill distribution on the T side.
Yeah, everyone's having a piece of that pie, per se.
Yeah.
A chance to shine.
And now they've got a chance at 7 rounds on the T side.
That is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. They might as well already lock in the 6th. But instead of going hyper-aggressive like they did in the previous anti-eco, they're being a little bit more patient, diligent, in case FUT are creating some sort of a play of their own. And that's indeed what they did do. But not one that will impact Sangal, as the patience pays dividends.
Yeah, they're over-rotating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in a round like this one, you're pretty much forced to go for a bit of a gamble. And now Symmetry has pushed through the smoke in towards Banana, and he's realized there's no one out there. They will try and rotate back on, but not sure if they're going to be able to make it here in time. Actually, the Emperor will be here. Might see a boost for Krebeni. Oh.
You've revealed yourself, but don't want to stick around to find out whether you will be collected or not. Jogs receives an HE to the face, and it's a painful way to go down. The AK seem to prevail, apart from the one that Symmetry is able to recover. But he's low enough for a bullet to land anywhere on his body to collect him. And it's Sangal in the lead on that T side. A looming threat that a potential 7th could mean destruction for FUT.
And it just feels so calm, right? When you think about the context of the game, there's been so many rounds going down to the wire, to a 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3 situation. And then you think about it in perspective, and you would say to yourself, well, Sangal do deserve to be in that type of a situation. They've been making a lot of calculated and a lot of smart decisions. That T side looking really solid, and as we said, it's no coincidence. They've won 7 out of their last 9 best of 3s. This is the best streak that this core of players has been in, probably since the start of the year, because Aurora at the start, Astrum after that, they never were successful with finding consistency.
Symmetry holding the right angle here. Toyed with. Oh, does not connect the first shot. Launex could be exposed, but gets to cover quickly. Holding hands now with Symmetry on the next phase of defense.
That's a lot of information though, right? You spot that one player in towards the balloons, you see another Oper in towards connector, you know there was heavy presence in towards that A bomb site. They can just accelerate into B.
Sangal, that is a brilliant set of utility, blocking out the entirety of the CT side. You can enter B for free. Ooh, Jugs. He's got a good sightline on one of his opponents, but if you're continuing to trade equally, it's not too bad a result for Sangal. Thing is, a couple of the players are low. Could be easy pickings as Lorne X is around. Could prove to be quite the interrupter, and indeed he is. And he continues to cause trouble for the Sangal side, looking to go 6-6 at the end of the half. We've got pictures, we've got a timer, and we'll be back after that. ready to rock and roll for the second half. Sangal and FUT head to head here, 6-6. But if you're FUT, you don't really want to be on that even ground moving into your T side.
Yeah, if you're FUT, you're hoping for a successful pistol round. That's pretty much how we can put that entire story here. It's a hefty utility investment, though. Just spreading around, making sure there's no pushes in towards middle or connector early on from the CT side and grouping up into what looks like a B play. Now, oftentimes in a round like this, you'd see one of the smokes go in towards heaven, the other one supposedly in towards the middle of the bomb site or deep in towards CT. Interesting to see what they want to go for. A hefty amount of flashes as well, avoiding short at all costs, and the U2 comes in. Low on X is already pretty much on the bomb side, actually. They do isolate short. Yeah, they're going to fight for the deep control.
Simple as that. Benny, we'll have a look out to see what the short play looks like. But you've instantly put the CTs in a bit of a pincer situation. They're able to isolate the one, and now they can focus on breaking into the back line. What a brilliant entry there from the rest of the Sangal players. It's looking clean. Launex and Demon keeping things a little bit competitive, though, as they both collect the headshot piece. Forced into a corner, both players go down. It doesn't take long for a couple of punches to land. Sangal with the pistol. FUT, it's safe to say they're under a bit of trouble.
I'm not used to saying that, but I feel like under those circumstances, Sangal was the team that got bait out by individual prowess, and FUT actually had the right call. You can see that is straight up anti. That is the best example of an anti for a pistol round that you're ever going to see, right? They just spread around, they already have the utility, they don't see the pushes, so apparently there's somewhat of a giveaway, and they know that the CTs like going for those aggressive plays into or short on the pistol round, so they just isolate it. They go and fight for CT, they do everything right until they just lose the fights into or CT.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit interesting, isn't it, Ted? Well, FUT probably don't see it that way.
You can tell that FUT have prepared nicely. That's what that's where I'm getting with this.
Sure, and we're looking to see if they can have an influential T side, and this could be quite the snappy one as well. First blood for Demon with a 1 and you've got the Mac-10s backing it up with sporadic acrobatics work. Patsy, though, interrupts the bomb plan and has kept things equal. The fact that Dennis is yet to show himself with the M4 does give Sangal a bit of an edge.
Really low HP on both Demon and low on X, though. Patsy and Dennis, they are favored to win this one.
Patsy was thinking about shooting again, but then again, he had luck once. Lady Luck is not smiling this second time.
Ooh.
Smoke fades. Flash out. But Dennis can't capitalize upon it quick enough. Looking to close up the distance, Patsy is just being a distraction. Now Dennis can start to move into the action. Demon, what a brilliant 1D to connect, but one bullet is the difference between him staying alive and him dropping to the floor. No time to defuse? No.
He's got it.
He's found a kit. He's found a kit, and crisis
it's gonna be close.
Averted? Indeed, Sangal, holy moly. That was a bit of a nail-biter.
Whew. Thank God your monster player had a kid dropped off, because they would have lost it for a second there. The pop is absolutely perfect, by the way. Result is able to get the first one. Look at how every single time a CT player gets a kill, there's a refrag coming in from the T's. Up until the point where Lone Eggs just decides to jump over with a Mac-10 like a madman in towards Swatter, and now the third kill as well. Good effort coming out of FUT, and you can put your top dollar on the fact that we're seeing another force buy out of them. 4 kills is still 4 kills. Look at the money on the CT side. This is still an in-range T side for FUT. Molly failing. It's not an easy lineup. Even for a team that's played the map so much. So it is alright to fail nades, guys. Everyone does it.
I feel like you're saying that statement specifically for me. I know you're saying guys to be kind, but...
Oh no, that is a legitimately difficult Molotov to land.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why.
It's a tricky lineup.
So I don't bother. I'm cool with my double pop flashes. Smoke's on for me. Let's look into this round, though, as it is FUT's chance to get into the spice. Quite slow now. They've cut noise entirely. It's a bit suffocating for Sangal.
Yeah, you put a little bit of pressure on middle, and now you're trying to just go with the long explosion. You know there's not enough money for an up on the other side, but Patsy's ready.
He's dug his heels in. but can't even get away with one. A buddy system that crumbles quickly for FUT, and Sangal taking full advantage onto the highway towards this A site.
I guess that's why you bring in LoNX into the lineup. Look at what he's able to come away with. That was never an issue with this guy, never a question whether he got the individual talent, whether he had those sick mechanics. And Klax is going to try and bring it back, but Krabeni on top of the bomb site shuts him down as well. This is a great response from FUT, and this is where this map becomes a lot more interesting now, Pavlos. Look at the money on the CT side with the reset. Rizal is the only surviving member on an MP9, and he might even go down as well. Gets one kill on that MP9, but there's so many Ts around, there's no way they're letting him upgrade and get out of there.
Shall we just have a LoNX discussion now? Because let's be fair, one of the reasons that the ex-Navi Junior roster, or the, it was so impressive, was with Makaze doing such heavy lifting a lot of the time. Sure, you have many pieces in this roster that provide a lot to you, but it felt like you left the gaping hole open that required to be filled. LoNX is stepping into it nicely.
He is, yeah. The one question with LoNX is how long can he stay on the lineup for and be a valuable asset, right? Because he's been around and about. He's had a lot of chances, and this could be a good thing and a bad thing, right? It could mean he's really experienced. He's played a major 3 years ago. He played the one in Rio with Sprout, made top 16 in 2022, but he had an opportunity on Falcons, then on Bleed, then Falcons again, Revenant, Nexus. So he's been changing teams quite rapidly, and this could be a good and a bad thing, as we said.
A sneaky start for the Sangal side, as they went for a double break into connector. There is a response though, so you can't really account much. Never mind. Oh, Dennis going berserk with the MP9. He might have just cashed in a lot of cash, but he may have also gotten the round in the process. LoNX is the only one remaining.
They've just thrown it out the window, haven't they? All the good things that they were able to achieve with the previous round, unless LoNX is able to come away with a 1v4, at least he's got a little bit of time to work with and the bomb on his disposal.
Yeah.
Let's not put it outside of the realms of possibility. Thing is, the moment that he starts running a little bit more in towards long, Klax should hear it, and I think he already has.
C4 on the hip, AK in arms. LoNX still has some heavy lifting to do.
He's seen two of them.
It's the bullets of two. But does he know that Klax is so close? Attempts to go for the bomb plant, trying to rule them out, and he's dashing. He's running, this man, the sprint of his life towards this B site.
You get a bomb plant out of this, you're going to be pretty happy with the money. They can't really stop it.
You can hear the commotion around. Try and get a couple of players down as well. Oh, he's found cover. Maybe this is doable. Never mind. Klax connecting with a headshot as soon as he's given the chance to do so. Still, though, your statement stands correct, Ted. Everything that FUT did the previous round kind of gets nullified now.
Yeah, erased. That was your opportunity. Sangal on a bit of a forest bite. They had one rifle going into the mix, a couple SMGs, a couple upgraded pistols. That was your opportunity to reset them, level things up, maybe get a 9-8 lead as well for FUT. And now you lose the forest bite. The wars continue. Obviously, you being on the T side and with the bomb plant as well, with the dear help of LoNX, you're going to be able to get those rifles out. But this is Sangal holding on to the lead here on the CT side, no matter how close the game gets. They are still in the driver's seat. But again, as we said, those forest by wars, meaning we don't really get to see either one of those teams get into the comfortable position of having enough money for a rebuy shall they lose a round with all 5 players going down. Not a good rebuy, that is.
True.
You can always rebuy. But sometimes it's not great.
I'm just trying to picture that. Just, hey, you've got money for a pistol. Doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah, yeah. You've got enough money for a decoy.
Strong util that, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jugs is a lone man army towards his right-hand side. Bomb is by his position, so you can kind of tell what the intention is. Yet again, though, he could also easily pick it up and head towards his teammate's position, but with Symmetry now boltering up that area of the map, kind of...
That's great.
gives us the idea of this B pot, but Grabeni, though, is the one to get first blood, an important one. I wonder if this will lure any attention from the CTs.
He recognized the setup. I don't think he knew for a fact that Patsy was up close, but he spotted the player just jumping towards the back of the bomb side and just firing a couple bullets. He just nades Patsy instantly and clears him out, and that's opened up space. Look at the rotation. Rizal is getting the hell out of here. Just now he's starting to walk back.
He's got no clue they're going to rush out of the smoke here. He's going to get fully surprised, gets the one and the second. It might just have gone right for FUT. Doesn't matter how you start it. What matters is how you end it. Jugs at least keeps his team afloat. Head above water, but a 2v2 still required.
They can plant the bomb. Defuse kit. Not sure if there was one dropped somewhere on the bomb side here for the CT side. If not, they're in a pretty deep trouble.
These nades are hurting. But both teams have got their players hip to hip. Run by from Jugs. Repeat, but Dennis is ready for it. A double kill for the ages. And it might just be the settler for the game itself as double digits are secured by Sangal.
Holding on by the skin of their teeth. Look at that low HP on Dennis. Picks up the kid on the way into the bomb side. Look at that double kill coming out of Klax as well. Rizal getting the first one. It actually felt like Klax. It looked for a second like he got all of them. Oof. Lovely stuff coming out of Dennis and Jugs as well, trying to bring in the goods on the T side. Unfortunately, not enough. And now that's put FUT in a really precarious spot. They need to go for a half buy here.
Yikes. Not that we haven't seen a bad buy. Yeah, it's...
You've got a rifle, you've got a utility. This is the time where you bring out the strat book with Coolio's little tricks and say, hey, we don't have the bomb, it's still in T-spawn, what is going on?
Oh no, and look at that nade damage, holy, that's not fun. I thought the HP bars for the T's were yellow, not red.
Cemeteries realized it.
Oh guys, what we've done.
That is the true walk of shame.
I'm glad we're not observing it, because that would truly be the walk of shame. But
that's good though. It's really good out of Sango.
Regroup.
Yeah, but you do the early damage with the utility. You know those guys are softened up. You always should be aware of the possibility of them going for a bit of a half buy. Sure, that could have been an investment because of the damage, but it does make sense for FUT to take a bit of a financial step back in a round like this. So you open up the space, play from the back. You know that you've softened them up, or at least you're hoping to.
And now the bells are ringing for the CT side. A side being pressured from a couple of directions, but you're not pulling the trigger on the full rotate. You know that FUT are very much capable of this mid-round pivot. Not the case this time around, though. Smokes out again. It's the second wave of them. Patsy playing aggressive, taking matters to his own hands. They want to interrupt this push before it even happens. It's a good call to make. He's even got Danis nearby. And he wants to take it a couple steps further. Ooh, this could get wrong. But Patsy able to win his fight. And the low players slowly get accumulated and put into the belts of the CTs. Norway has an easy time dealing with Jugs on the long angle, and the rest will swiftly fall thereafter. So that's two back-to-back now for the Sangals.
Yeah, this is the thing when you're going into a round like this. Sorry, you just caught me off guard with the Sangals.
Sounds like the sandals, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. They had a fan club. It would be the Sangals wearing the Sandos. They need to brand some Sandos. But yeah, it is a tricky thing when you're playing against the pistols. You don't want to give them too much, but you don't want to be too aggressive either, right? So you have to find the middle ground. They do it perfectly with that double push in towards or that double aggressive setup in towards Banana in the toilets. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, how you hit the same molly. Thank you, Patsy.
The Witchy stack up for FUT. I've got a long way to go. It's being illustrated that Sangal do not play around on the CT side. Deep smoke.
It's an interesting little detail, by the way. They don't go for the instant smoke out of spawn. Obviously, there's a way for the T's to fell this one if they land the molly on top of the tracks. But there is this new smoke that doesn't get felled by the molly. They still wanted to go for the double peak with the double nade. And those are some things that a lot of tier 1 teams would be doing as well, but it shows that Sango is up to speed. They are that type of a team. Especially on a map like Overpass. You play it that much, you're going to be up to date with the bibs and bobs. Makes it tough to play against. Because you know those guys are not going to be playing conventional Counter-Strike all the time, or at least they will have some more creative things in the book.
been quite quiet on the left-hand side of the map, so Sangal happy to keep 3 players around for this defense. And now they realize the take is incoming outside of Toxic. Klax comes and he goes as well. Double kill. It's beautiful. Krubeni can't really do too much about it. Sangal very much equipped to deal with this. As soon as the take started, it ended.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect. This picture-perfect Counter-Strike on the CT side. Not sure if they even spotted the player in towards the barrels, by the way, or they thought maybe contact was going to come in from somewhere else, but the sequence of them going for the fights, the setups, the way that they're getting the kills, everything just looks so clean for the side of Sangal. And sure, you could say, if you are FUT, you probably could make a case that they think it should have been closer because they did lose a couple close rounds, but in its entirety, this overpass has looked pretty comfortable for the side of Sangal, bar the close rounds.
Tough world for FUT, for sure. Lacking on the util department. Everyone's just got their favorite piece of utility with them, right? Favorite nade.
Apparently no one likes the Molotovs.
Yeah, they're a little bit more pricey, aren't they?
That's a tough one. Zux is low on HP. You've got a lot of util left and you're already running short on players as well. Patsy, that is absolutely beautiful.
It's demonical, that's what it is. For get interrupted in their tracks, don't even get a chance to breathe towards this A site. They're forced out of their lungs. Krubeni on a lone man effort. You can hear some commotion, so he's being teased as well. Toyed with. Chip on the shoulder for Klax, but this just brings the right opportunity for Sangal as well to close up the distance. Pincer maneuver created. Oh, that's a goosh. And down he goes. 13-7 is the score for Sangal. What a win in this first map, continuing their trend of success on Overpass as Ancient is incoming.
Yeah, it's an absolute statement coming out of the side of Sangal, isn't it? 15 out of 17 games on Overpass. Now you've been able to win, and the last 5 out of the last 6 you've won on single digits. It is a great way to kick things off in this elimination series.
Back in a bit, folks, for map number 2. Don't miss it. We'll be back in a bit.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it, oh, yeah, you like it. feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Damn, guys, we almost had them.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
You're watching the ESL Challenger League, everybody. We're back into action for the second map of the series between FUT and Sangal. So far, so forth. Overpass seemingly being the absolute bread and butter for Sangal. But now we've gone into FUT side of things. Their own home ground. Ancient, very much needed for them to stay alive in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is an important one, right? As we said, for a team like FUT, you're not really used to playing ESL Challengers, or for the core of players, they couldn't really play it before because of Navi obviously being in Pro League, so you couldn't even participate in the circuit on a lower level. So it is quite important for them to do well here, especially with the newest edition of Law and X. And thankfully, this is the bread and butter of the side of FUT. Regardless of the fact that Sangal, interestingly enough, Pavlos, have actually played more Ancients since the start of August than those FUT players.
Oh, that is an interesting stat line. Still, though, let's have a look at how this one goes. Symmetry will be entering into the A site, nor we respecting the presence of his opponents. We're looking at 5v5 post-part here, Ted.
Yeah, you do have a kit on Rizal, though, and 2 smokes, or actually 1 smoke in a flash, so it should be a doable one.
Oh, the dualies, though, are causing a bit of duress here for Grabeni, and indeed will end up collecting him in the endo. The final has already ensued, though, not waiting for the play-in donut to arrive, which has caused some confusion. Denise doesn't stay alive for too long. 2v2 with both remaining players low. Laon X cleans up. Those headshots came like wildfire.
Those rounds are still going down to the wire, man. This is such wild Counter-Strike. I'm not sure who the player was, but someone towards the back of Xbox couldn't hit a shot to save their life with the pistol. And this is how it is sometimes. Sometimes the glow just doesn't connect. Yeah, it was Dux here. Actually, he did get a kill, but tapping away for such a long time. And Laon X going absolutely nuclear towards the end. He's the one man that needs to fill in the shoes of Makazi, who was the best player on this team on that particular map. And he has been, by the way. Highest rated player of FUT on Ancient so far.
It's one of those conversations we're having a lot, Ted, when, you know, this team was going through that period of change. They were trying a couple of players, having a few subs here and there. None of them could really fit the role of Makazi all too much, but Launex seems to get there.
I think he's just that type of player. It's a lot more similar than it was with Misuta, let's say, who was never a star player. Much more of a reliable, experienced, supportive element, even if he does have ideas and he is vocal, but I don't think he was ever that nature of a player.
3 players were initially in Cave and Chag. One of them has been eliminated. The pincer will not be tested, though, as FUT still look to move to the B side. I did talk a little bit too quick, didn't I, Ted?
That is tricky. Cave. Yeah, this is tricky, especially with the 5.7s. If you take first contact and you lose both rifles here, this could be a really easy one to deal with, especially with Danis taking first point of contact. They might not be ready for 3 people.
Yeah, this could be rough.
It will be.
Clax is smoked off, so the entry from ramp will be clean. Risol and his teammate get the pick up there. Bomb to get planted. Clax not looking to push the smoke, especially with his teammates blocked off by the molly.
They're pushing him.
And they will. Might surprise their opponents. Indeed, Symmetry not expecting that at all. FUT, they may have just put themselves back in pole position, but with that smoke still there, they won't really have the line of sight they need. If you're Sangal, you're probably thinking this might not favor you anymore.
Yeah, I think they're walking away. You do realize you don't have a kit, you realize you've got no utility, and you've just lost your player into as long. It's better to just call it off, have somewhat of an opportunity in the next round. That was a full investment as well. This is not great at all for the side of Sangal. I mean, I say it's not great at all. It's unfortunate, right? Because Clax does play the situation right. He knows that he should stay alive. He knows that he should hold the line on the smoke and just wait for his teammates to take contact and then swing. The only thing is, after getting those kills in towards the cave, they just thought the T's would try and challenge cave, maybe trying to walk away from the bomb site. Clax just gets caught on a weird timing on the swing through the smoke. If he gets 1 kill there, then they give it a go.
It's impressive how these second round force buys have been very, very close, though. I feel like all three so far this series have been quite cutthroat. Could have gone either way. And it does keep the team that wins these types of rounds in close proximity when it comes to that economy, right? It makes their upcoming buy rounds a little bit more important. Now an X boosted up. Resort reads it. No problem at all. We're dealing with that. And one of the 2 hero rifles from Sangal has already started to sing.
This could get funky. Those 2 rifles being brought into the next round of action, and now you've lost that 1 player in towards middle. Look at the double push in towards A, man. That's a lot of information right now for the side of Sangal. Question is, how deep do you want to go? How far do you want to go with this? 157, good for 1. Refract comes in, but this is still good stuff out of Patsy.
Yeah, you don't mind going for 1 there. Norway closes up the gap. And I don't know if you expect this if you're FUT, and indeed you do not catch the timing on that. Norway with the double. Result appears from the back lines as well. That is clean stuff from Sangal, and they only started that round with 2 rifles.
You know what? I'm actually loving this because I haven't seen Sangal play in such a long time, right? That core of players, they had so many struggles towards the first couple of months of the year.
Sure.
But since the start of this game, they've actually looked really good. The way that they're taking space, the way that they're playing proactive Counter-Strike with a lot of confidence, that was one of the main issues towards the end of Astrum days, I think, before they got transferred over to Sangal. There was just so many losses that it was difficult for the players to believe in themselves. Judging by the way that they've been playing so far, it kind of feels like they believe they can even 2-0 this. I know we're saying this at a 2-1 lead for FUT, but a lot of those rounds have been going down to the wire. Sangal is really competitive.
Yeah, they've been playing some clean Counter-Strike so far, and it shows. And again, FUT having such a difficult situation in the first couple of rounds, they still don't have the optimal buy. The force buy has got 3 pistols in store, a fast push into this A site, and it should be a bomb plant with 5 players to spare. Eyes on Krebeni though, a lurk of the ages, and that's quite the bank.
Yeah, it's all about getting that kill on Krebeni. If you get that kill, and if you're Norway, you can win the round. The T's need to get a little bit aggressive though. Not a lot of utility. If Krebeni's not able to get a couple kills, this could get scrappy. You're just buying time for him to get into position.
Perfect timing for Krebeni, by the way, especially with Norway holding that position. As soon as he moves away, that's when Krebeni chooses to pounce. This could be a free piece.
Oh no.
Oh no, the headshots don't land. He went for the body shots thinking he could get a couple in, but the jump up caused some leg pieces to come through. The CTs hold on. The firepower prevails. FUT had no chance in holding that one out against the M4s and AKs diffused in by Result, and 2-2 on the score sheet.
Oh, it's probably the worst gun to have in this position as well, right? It's a P250. Even a MAC-10, a Deagle, a Tech-9, anything would have done the job better. Krebeni, that's really unfortunate, but the CTs still play it well. They know it's all about doing the damage, holding on, making sure they don't let the T's push too deep in towards Tempo and towards CT, get done and just contain them on that bomb side. The difficult part is not getting onto the side itself and getting the bomb plant. The difficult part is actually finding any comfort in the post plant, especially with the lack of utility.
And you can't help but
where
feel
the flank
things
should
get
have helped.
Scary a little bit when Sangal have got themselves money for days, for amping up the pressure. But it's a fully equipped Sangal side looking to defend this. A fully equipped one, and an undefeated one at that as well. 5 players alive by the end of it for the Sangal. And it's 3-2 lead found. Back to the buys though for FUT.
Look at the kill distribution, by the way. Norway 5 kills, Patsy 5, Klax 4, Result 4. Danis hasn't really been involved too much, hasn't really had the op too much, and he's on 2 frags, but all of the rifles are doing their job perfectly right now.
Same with
Norway's
Overpass.
been absolutely outstanding.
You did make the same point out for the previous map as well. It's just Sangal, all of them are involved in the action.
And that's how it should be, right? Because objectively, when you look at this lineup, they don't have weak pieces individually, or at least they shouldn't.
Klax looking to see if he can get the punish. That flash is insane from Danis. Pure capitalization. Resort also had some of his own action outside of Cave.
I mean, that's
and with that, yeah, round's over.
This round is over a minute and 30, right? Unless Danis just goes down in a really weird way, which he does, but does the damage, so Symmetry is low. They should still have it in the bag.
Looking at Klax as usual, just a flash, so no real possibility to deny this bomb plant. So some extra cash in pocket for the T's.
Any kill you get as a bonus.
Aggressive. Yeah, okay. Sangal playing this one clean, not taking any chances. Jugs at least is able to find a consolidation frag by the end, but 2 picks is all FUT will get. This was their buy round, by the way, Ted, and it ended just as quick as the pistol round did.
It's a bit surprising, isn't it? Usually nowadays what you see is the CTs being a little bit more conservative in the way that they fight for middle, because the Ts are the ones to wait and go out middle on a late timing with the flashes, right? We saw it happen the other way around. FUT tried to force the issue, get that early 2 players out of middle, and then swing deeper onto the second timing. They thought they had it all figured out. The flashes come in from Danis, they dodge the first ones, they turn around, they get the kill. Bang! There was actually more flashes coming in. Little did you know. Great little detail coming out of Sangal. And Danis, this is where his impact lies. Might not be on the top of the scoreboard, but those flashes won them a really important buy round, and you go into a bit of a tactical timeout for Coolio here. This is no shocking news. At least you get a bomb plan, which probably you shouldn't have. Danis definitely not feeling great that he gave them that fight, but it's still a good start on the CT side for Sangal.
Coming into the series, we knew we'd be up for some action, Ted. 2 teams running hot, 2 teams very impressive in their trajectories. And currently, Sangal just being a little bit above in terms of macro and micro.
Look at how ready they are. You just started off with the deep cave control. You were playing beyond a bit of a retake as well when you've got a lot of players on that left-hand side. Klax is all about not going down straight away, but he's really good at playing his life when needed to. At least usually.
And is still holding Krebeni's angle, and it just works out on time. Motion heard though. Klax will have no issue dealing with the first, but being blind and having an elbow in front of his eyes will help FUT gain a foot onto the site, no pun intended. But apart from that, their legs are cut to pieces as the rifles start to chime through as well. Double kill for Danis though. As soon as he gets the big green, he also looks to put some impact in for his team.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow start for the side of FUT. Krebeni is on 1 kill. He was the second guy to the madness when Makazi was still on the lineup. Obviously, we had that conversation about Demon now stepping up into being a lot more aggressive than Krebeni on the T sides, but Demon hasn't really had the opportunity to shine as much. We can say the same for a lot of the pieces on that FUT lineup.
Patsy, this time it gets caught.
We
were talking about Krebeni's aggression and Demon taking a foothold of that. Krebeni still with the old and known.
That's so fast.
It gets red, but the firepower is still there.
They didn't see the second player. That's terrifying. You know there's some aggression going on. You need to answer in towards B, but you don't know how many players there were.
Does Klax know about Lyle next, though? It doesn't matter. It was still 1-for-1. A-site takeover, and instantly Sangal in a bit of an interesting spot here.
This is not an easy retake. Norway low on HP, Danis on a big green. You're going to give it a go probably, but it's going to come down to whether Rizal is able to get that kill onto Krebeni.
Krebeni looks away though for now. Taking the fight deeper into the site, closer to where his teams can trade. Smoke on cave. Space for Danis to work with. Oh, it covers the position.
No.
Symmetry, the turnaround. No, we see him to get the pick instead. Resol, it's his time to shine, but he's run out of teammates, run out of help. He gets one, maybe the second could have aligned with that spray, but Demon recovers quickly. Trigger hit first, and FUT back in action on the T side.
This is what you want to see out of that T side from FUT, right? Krebeni taking a little bit of space, going for that cave fight, not really letting Sangal get that part of the map for free, and then Demon closing things out with a triple. This is everything falling into place, but that was still doable. I don't want to be that guy, but that is probably should be, and on a normal day, he probably gets a kill, if not even 2, out of that smoke walk, right? It's just straight up unfortunate, but FUT might be looking to switch up the pace with a bit of a B-rush.
It's very feisty, isn't it? Very quick. The molly does do a little bit of damage to the tippy toes of the FUT players, but inevitably it's the rifles that can do most of the work, and Danis forced out of position. Does not end up having the pounce on his opponents. Launex not slowing down though. Danis also wanting to follow it up, but he's under dangerous waters and gets dealt by the currents. Yeah, that one's over. FUT. What a brilliant take. Full bravado.
Yeah, it's great conditioning coming out of FUT, right? This is the first time you go for something like this, and it comes in round number 9. You just conditioned the CT side that they can go for a lot of, I guess, pushes at the start of the round, that you're going to be a little bit more conservative, a bit slower in the way that you take some of the space, and then you just hit him with a straight up rush for the first time so late into the half. It is a great call, even though it felt like, again, the CTs were ready to actually deal with it. Norway gets the first kill, but from that point on, everything just falls apart. Rizal goes down. Danist's in a weird spot with Diop. Nothing he could have done about it. He just gets run down and wrapped up. It's still a really close game, though. I mean, it's a shutdown call, so to speak, but it doesn't necessarily shut down the economy of the CT side.
And we're starting to see FUT win some of those individual fights that I feel like have been the difference maker in several occasions, several openers. When Sangal are able to, you know, get those 2v2s under wraps, it just feels like it's a matter of seconds until the round is in their favor. But with FUT answering back, we've got a game on our hands for sure.
Yeah, it's a really close one, this one. Both teams on a similar level, and again trying something newer. Oper boosted, Demon going for the contact.
That flash turns out to work against him.
What?
What? Demon with the demonic duties still gets 2. But Pansy's there to deal with him.
Hold
Other
on.
than that, bomb should be going down, but what's the answer back from Sangal? Do you really wave the white flag here, even after Danis's pick?
I think you give it a go. That was a 5 versus 3. You get 2 kills instantaneously. Just wanted to make sure there's no flags in play.
Jugs, he's been softened up a little bit. You know where the players are coming from, though, and being scoped up in position is a rough one for Danis. Patsy hoping that a random spray shot goes his way, but without that happening, there's no pressure moving away from Klax, really, for him to close up the distance. So, ooh, misses the timing on that as well. That's unfortunate.
I'd go down.
Yeah, indeed. Patsy looking to see if anyone stuck around for too much and punish. Patsy does go down with his ship, but Klax survives.
The good news is you've got plenty of cash on the CT side, right? Even though Patsy goes down, he's got 10k, so that's not too big of an issue, but yeah, I've liked the tempo switch coming out of FUT. Sangal is somehow every single time able to make us believe that they're able to bring back around, and this is something that FUT needs to be really careful with. But we are seeing the best out of Demon. This is one double entry for the highlight reel. It was such a weird one because he was blinded for a long period of time, and then he just turns around and gets the kill. This is the type of plays that you are expecting out of Demon, though. The young Ukrainian, one of the most underrated players. I know I said it already. I'm going to say it again. One of the most underrated players in Tier 2 Counter-Strike right now.
Sure. Definitely very impactful.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that can bring in star-like numbers on CT side, regardless of being an anchor. It's kind of like having your central midfielder on a football pitch being your top goal scorer, you know? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but you think it's hella impressive when it happens.
Yeah, as an Arsenal fan, I'm too familiar with that.
As a Man United fan, I'm not familiar with it because we don't really score goals.
Sorry, man. Feels bad.
That's alright. Been like that for more than a decade.
But the new age is for FUT and Sangal. Two upcoming teams in the Tier 2 scene. Sure, you've got players with that Tier 1 experience, top of the line. But a lot of fresh faces as well. Some early chip damage as well. Klax down to 35. Danist's also under that 80 HP mark.
They've become really comfortable with those B takes, that's what it feels like, but now you've put some presence. The map just looks really open, right? It feels like the CTs are almost inviting you to go for a B play, so you try and explore your options. Thing is, when you are walking into a play in towards A that later on, you need to be wary of every single possible angle, right? Setups in towards Donut, in towards Jungle, in towards Red, in towards A main, aggressive players, boosts, opes. You don't really know anything. You're just going into this one blindly on 30 seconds. This is a big risk, especially with Norway having a little bit of util to delay.
Norway flashed, gives a call to his teammates. Pressure. Flicked into Donut. Klax hoping he connects with a headshot, but the wall provides cover for Launex. Norway
smoked him off.
Anchoring. But it needs a little bit of spice here to keep things going for Sangal, but instead for pole position, 4 against the 3 of their opposition. And now with a bomb down, should have a clear task on their hands. If you get the move on here, Sangal, you might even subside Jugs, but that doesn't even come to fruition. Krubeni gets the pick up through the smoke and bobs your uncle in the round.
Yeah, it really is. Patsy able to get that 1 kill on Jugs, but it doesn't really change who's gonna pick up the round. Krubeni with a nice double. That 1 kill out of LawNX makes a whole lot of difference. I'm still trying to figure out how Sangal are putting themselves in such great positions, but FUT are able to still weigh all of those rounds, right? Because the go in itself is not bad from, or the setup itself is not bad from the CT side. Noe's got the molly, he's got the smoke. All he needs under those circumstances is just for Klax to get 1 kill, and then LawNX just walks out and I guess deletes him, doesn't really give him too much of a chance. So LawNX, even though he gets 1 kill out of this, and the spacing wasn't great by the way, if LawNX goes down, the second player was in no position to get that instantaneous refrag. So it's essentially a round that goes down to LawNX getting a kill. That's
how many rounds?
The definition of high impact.
What is the number of consecutive rounds that FUT have accumulated so far? Because it feels they haven't really been letting go.
No, they've picked up a lot of pace. So Sangal were up 5-2.
Yeah, well, that makes it 4 consecutive for FUT, and with 1 round remaining in the half, have the capabilities of being the team in charge before we move to the opposite sides. This looks to be a quick take over the safe side, but bomb quite far away. They're hoping to maneuver some of these CTs.
It's not a commitment. You're just baiting them out. You're trying to bait out a reaction. Thing is, the bomb is still in towards T-spawn, so it's a double fake? No, actually, Demon's just walked out on the bomb side. He's like, well, it's empty. You can come over.
I mean, they've been provided the space for free, so they might as well just take it. No trap play in the
towards
mix.
Donut, though.
Sangal are afraid of losing players early. They want to go for this 4-5-man retake, but you need to take care of LawNX in the back lines. Klax looking to crunch in on his opponents. Looks like Sangal loses a fight on 2 different fronts. Resort hopes he can get away with a little bit more than LawNX, but he'll get what he can take. A cheap breakaway. Oh, you needed to connect that. And Demon will punish. That's the end of the round. And the end of the half as well. That's going to look like 7 on the board for FUT. What an incredible streak of form. 5 consecutive already. Back in action for FUT versus Sangal. Currently, FUT in a bit of a roll, 7-5, but it's 5 consecutive rounds for them on the previous half. Now on the CT side, but Sangal acting quickly off the pounce.
Yeah, we're not wasting any time on this one. It's a straight up rush in towards that A bomb side, double setup in towards the donut position. What is going on? Low and X has just pushed the smokes. There's so many backs turned against him.
You're hoping that Symmetry collects the pieces, but it does go down with the ship as he picks up one. 2v2 all of a sudden, 1 minute 20 on the clock, but Patsy getting the digits punched in. Jugs closes up the distance. Both Krebeni and he looking to line up their dinks, but being low doesn't do you any favors. Krebeni connects one. Denislo. One bullet should do it, but Denis is just toying with him. In and out of battle. Krebeni sticking to the defuse. No way! Gets off of it just on time to get the final collection. FUT on the board on the pistol is what they need.
Yeah, and it's a big triple coming out of the in-game leader. We wanted to see the impact being brought in from Krebeni. So young, yet tasked with the burden of being the IGL. And we're used to asking a lot of him individually, and he's able to deliver when it matters the most. Big triple kill out of him. That was a really precarious 1v1 towards the end. There's been a lot of clutches, a lot of close scenarios, in case you were just joining in to the ESL Challenger League Season 50 European Cup 2 stream. This is our one and only game for the day here on the stream. And it's an elimination one. Lower bracket. Loser of this one goes home. Well, technically, they're both playing from home, but you get the idea.
Yeah, we understand, Ted.
Yeah.
They're out from the tourney.
Yes.
That's it. They're already in the lower bracket. Look,
They're kicking him out.
FUT have kind of been that Grim Reaper on that lower bracket run, right? They've had a couple of rounds consecutive, dealing with teams like Nine, Ents, destructive stuff. Meanwhile, Sangal only just dropped. This is their first map. This is the first series they play in the lower bracket.
Yeah. Been a lot more successful for the Sangal boys, as we pointed out, going into this game in some great streak, great form. Getting a pretty decent amount of wins. And that's one of the conversations we haven't had. It's only natural for them to be playing more and more interesting and better Counter-Strike with time. The fact that they get Jumpy as the coach as well.
Sure.
Absolute legend of the Swedish scene, may I add. The fact that he was the coach of that international Sangal lineup 1 year ago, featuring LNZ, X-Cloud, Youngster, Jota as well. He just stayed with York.
He's got a different task on his hand this time around. I guess it's a bit of a language barrier as well, as all the players are Russian. But second round full spike for Sangal, looking to be a bit treacherous to deal with, difficult. But it's not like you don't have a game plan into it. Both Jugs and Launex have got cover to what looks like impending doom, but it's not over till it's over. Launex,
it's over,
revealing himself, and indeed, it does look quite done and dusted already. Demon with a random Hail Mary through the smoke doesn't quite work his way.
They're low.
Krebeni, is there really a chance here? There's a possibility, but missed the first few shots and now alerts them of his position. They need to get the bomb down if you don't interrupt them. Well, if you do interrupt them, this could be it.
Oh my god.
Bomb down, 1v1. How has Krebeni done this? Looking to be the impact man again. Back-to-back rounds where Krebeni shines. Triple kill both times. The defuse is his, and FUT continue.
You need a big clutch. Just call 911. No, never mind. Actually, scratch that. Call Krebeni. Just call the captain. He's there for the save. A 1 versus 3 isolating all of the fights, all of them around the 50 HP mark, so he was just going for the body shots. Fight after fight, and the time was low. There was a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of nerves. That's another one, by the way. If you ask Sangal in the end of this map, especially if this map ends up going in favor of FUT, you ask them, should you actually win this engine? They probably should. They probably will tell you yes. There's so many rounds that they've lost going down to the wire. So many times where they probably feel like they got hard done. They still go for the investment. They've done so much damage.
Oh boy. It's a bit of a gut-wrencher, isn't it? It's like someone's throwing a knife in your stomach and is twisting it. Not fun. Painful.
It's a bit frustrating if you're Sangal, because you feel like you're making good calls. You feel like you're playing well. The game plan is there. You're making it so close, but you just can't get that 1 or 2 kills that are so key for the round to be converted. But Counter-Strike is a simple game, as we like to say. It's all about shooting the bad guy before he shoots you.
It's about hitting headshots, man. And quick. Still, though, with 5 players, well, 4 found and the plants. Something like an investment has come into this result. Like that. Now next paying attention.
Ooh.
But this time doesn't connect the headshot first.
Tricky.
And for upgrade, how about that?
You have a lot of information right now. You've heard Zux rotate back in towards A. You know you've got a 2 setup on A, 2 setup on B. Thing is, symmetry with Yob might be a bit of an issue to deal with.
You block off one entry so you can put your focus on the other. That molly is timed nicely with your teammate's exit. Symmetry finding cover in Temple. Plax looking to see if he can toy around with it. Doesn't really take the bait though. Doesn't want to go for the swing. There is absolutely no need to do that.
They can see.
Still have got a lot of players that they need to bring nearby, and it doesn't even look like they're going to go for the take anyway.
That's the discipline we were talking about, by the way. Notice how Sangal just walk into the bomb site. They take everything that was given to them, and they just don't get greedy to take anything else. They didn't give them a peek, right? The molly comes in. Symmetry was thinking about going for the peek in towards Donut, but he was so sure that there was a swing coming in through the smoke in towards main. Only issue was he didn't really know when, so it didn't really feel safe to go for a play like this. And then Clax moves towards the back of Xbox, just holding the off angle, making sure Symmetry is not going to walk out. He didn't really care to face him. This is a great round to win if you're Sangal. This is one that's going to make you feel good.
Resource probably feeling very clever here, Ted. He survived with 1 point of health after the bomb exploded. Probably feels very smart with himself.
Yeah. A proud man.
Yeah.
Although at this point, I think it's fairly impossible to calculate exactly how much damage you're going to get from the bomb.
No. As much as you might claim you do.
No, some maps are impossible.
FUT now take their time out, and they don't take long, do they? Sangal interrupt with a second force buy, and they're instantly in the thinking chambers.
The thing is, if you are Coolio and you're watching this game, you do realize exactly what we've been discussing in the last couple of rounds. You do know that even though you did have a 4-round lead and now you have a 3-round lead, this is not a one game. This map is not over. You do realize you've been winning a lot of close rounds, a lot of clutches, and that's great, right? The fact that Krebeni stepped it up with back-to-back triple kills, the 1v3 clutch as well, a couple big rounds that Sangal could have won and probably should have, and FUT steal away. This is all great. But it's all about taking advantage and capitalizing when you get those rounds to go your way, right? Because this is still a pretty fragile game financially for FUT. It still could get tricky. You lose this round, you're out of money. We're looking at a 9-7, potentially 9-8, as they will have to go for a bit of an eco. And the game is on.
Well, that is if FUT lose this again, so
yeah,
we'll have to see if that is indeed the case. Sangal's not really fair to take too much damage early. Those HEs are brilliant, and Krebeni's crunch out of Jank is also as successful.
That was a self-flash as well.
Double donut cross. Double donut defense as well. Out into the open, you're flooding Laon X late on the smoke, therefore down to 15 points of health. You're not healthy now, but if you're Symmetry, you've just given FUT a silver lining. You've got 2 players more than your opponents, even though you're struggling on the HP department.
I'm not sure where you go. This is that type of a round where you even consider safe on the T side early on, right? You've got 1 minute to work with, and they look like they want to give it a go in towards B, but you get denied in towards Cave, then the double donut setup is able to hold on regardless of Laon X being a little bit hesitant with whether he wanted to fight with his teammate or smoke himself off, but Symmetry shuts you down in towards middle. You've got no map control, you've got barely any information, so a contact up B. As of right now, the CT is playing this one on a bit of a passive setup. It's all about Demon not going down for nothing, because if he does, they know where Krebeni is as well.
Hear me out. Demon oversteps, gets hit by a headshot, dies. And then we're looking at a 3v4 with FUT having players that are very low and can get spammed across smokes. Sangals don't take the step forwards to get the collection, so yeah, that's not going to happen, is it, Ted? Well, Demon does die, but other than that, smooth sailing for FUT. Wind in their sails, and a defuse isn't even required, as the digits didn't really get punched in time.
And that's the 3rd triple kill Krebeni's gotten into a single half of Counter-Strike. And I say a single half, that's 4 rounds. In 3 of them, he's been able to get a triple.
Oh, baby Krebeni.
Yeah, that's great. That's really impressive out of him. He's on 13-9.
So he got 9 kills out of those.
Yeah.
Previously, he was on 4.
Yeah, quick maths. Good job.
They do say don't do maths on broadcast. I just did. Rule breaker.
This is the first time you did it correctly as well. I'm proud of you.
Cheers, man.
It's fine. It's all about growing, improving, you know?
Let's see if Sangal can improve in this one, though. They've been lacking the expertise we saw of them on Overpass. Bit disjointed in several occasions, shaken in some moments. Poor lightning fast reactions there from Symmetry. First blood goes to FUT.
That's really good. This is probably one of the first times you've been able to get a clean opening without the T's getting too much in exchange. And look at that double rotation in towards red. They're ready for the walk.
Launex hoping he's got the timing on this. And indeed, he's got the backup as well. Never mind. Symmetry walking away from it. Smoked off now. 3v3.
Demon's on an island. He's completely isolated with that deep smoke. They need to challenge. They need to go for that kill, but they missed him.
Great HE grenade, though, from Jugs, and it just gives them the opportunity to cross safely back to the defense of the site. Symmetry and Jugs both aligned to keep this site afloat, while Demon has all the time in the world to brew this backstab. No one will interrupt him. 1 pick, 2, easy as that. For unstoppable on the CT side of Ancient.
That was absolutely perfect. It's absolutely perfect from start to finish. Demon getting the double kill towards the end was just the cherry on top, but that challenge in towards CT, that's where you realize that those guys know how they should be approaching a situation. You lose that fight, you challenge Klax, you get the kill, you just rotate like... almost like you're panicking back towards that B-bomb side. You just know you need to take the space. You can't allow Demon to be left all alone and wrapped from all sides in towards B. It's a good play out of FUT. A really good one. And for the first time since the start of the half, you've got a full reset onto the economy of Sangal, and that comes in so late into the half, so late into the map. Might mean we're going to a Mirage, which, considering how much firepower we've seen and how many displays of individual skill there has been so far in this game, is not really a disappointing prospect.
No, not at all. I'm looking forward to potential Mirage here. This game lining up to be quite the exciting one. Still, it's not like anyone from the Sangal side is underperforming particularly, right? You're all kind of firing at a similar level. It's just that FUT are very much prepared on what you're about to take on. These first kills give them a substantial leverage into the remaining parts of the round. Again, Krabeni, even though he's flashed, he's given gifts. Demon wanting a piece of the action, jumps in, trades his life. AK collected. Oh!
All right.
And a silver lining for Sangal. The bomb's far behind, though, and when both Klax and Danis are so far between each other, there really is not much in it for Sangal.
I want to refuse to believe that this is doable. They don't even have the armors. Danis doesn't want to overstep the mark and pick up an AK, or pick up an AWP, sorry. He's got the AK already, but it's all about Klax's spot. Thing is, Ducks should realize this is a possibility. Oh, never mind. Klax has got that one deke. They don't really know where the bomb is. They haven't spotted Danis out. This is weird. They've got a lot of time. They've got plenty of time.
Brilliant. Danis decides not to go through spawn, given he's missed out the opportunity to read out where the players are. There could be some potential opportunity in mid. Klax gets the jump on Krabeni. And instantly, this round is in flames. Laun X, a full HE explosion in the groin. This is not fun. If you're Laun X, they know where you are. If you're Klax and Danis, you're chilling. 2 picks per team, per player. Low, though, Laun X. That's the first collection. And gets the second. How dare you, Laun X? How dare you clutch this up? That is simply criminal.
I mean, that was an eco round. They shouldn't have won it in the first place, but how did they lose it in the end? This is complete cinema. This is pure chaos, absolute carnage in the server on Ancient. Look at that. How many wrong things can you spot with this round? That was a 5 versus 3 originally. Then Danis is able to get a double out of nowhere. That's a 2v5. Klax, no one looking a second time. They just got nervous. They thought it was A, and then Launex is just able to run out. Didn't even shift his way out of cave and gets both those kills. And he was already low on HP because of that nade.
Oh boy. Well, if that didn't break Sangal's morale, I don't know what will. Sure, you've got to press that reset button onto the next one. Jeez Louise. Jugs, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? Into the smoke. He's hugging his opponents, essentially. Oh, he's done a little bit more damage as well. And Demon has also joined in on time to interrupt the close-up opposition. Holy FUT takeover. Complete stomp on the CT side. Do not give Sangal a single opportunity to breathe. What the hell did we just witness?
I've got no clue what we've just witnessed. I've got no idea how this game ends up being a 13-6. That was such a competitive map of Counter-Strike, but it still ends up being a vocal one in the scoreboard. And FUT take us to a third Pavlos. We're going to Mirage.
Elimination for either of these teams on the line here. One map remaining, and it's going to be Mirage. Don't miss it, folks. We'll be back after a break, and when that comes to shove, action underway.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? I'll keep singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. When they hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. The way you like it. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the ESL Challenger League. We are currently 2 maps in from our series between FUT and Sangal, and Mirage is required to decide everything. We're in the lower bracket currently where 1 map, 1 team will be leaving us. So far, FUT, most recently on Ancient, gave us a brilliant performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I really am looking forward to this one, Pavlos, and I am glad that we end up on a 3rd and final map. I feel like it's only just for both those teams, right? We had a lot of close situations on both Overpass and Ancient, but in the end of the day, it kind of feels like both teams were able to win their map picks really comfortably, even though I would go as far as to say that both scorelines, respectively 13-7 on Overpass and 13-6 on Ancient, don't really tell the full story, right? Both those maps were a lot closer than what the scoreline maybe suggests.
Yeah, a lot of close rounds, a lot of close situations, and a lot of fast buys being impactful as well, and keeping things and teams on their toes. Now, let's have a discussion about Mirage here, Ted, because obviously we've seen there's been a bit of streak of form. Both teams very strong on their own map picks, but going back to the history of FUT, it's kind of Mirage has been the bread and butter, especially in this event itself, being one of the main reasons why FUT have been the vultures of this lower bracket.
Yeah, that's why it's so interesting to see it as a 3rd and final map as well, right? Because it has been a really comfortable middle ground for Sangal as well, considering that they've won, what, 5 out of their last 6 Mirages, and the only loss that they had was against the Russian side of 33, but you're looking at wins against Gunfight, Backclick, 1 win, but you hit the nail on the head. FUT, they've been great. 5 in a row, not a single one of those teams actually getting double digits. Betera, Gunfight, Johnny Speeds, and Ents already being crushed by that Mirage.
Getting straight into the action though, an ace site split coming for Sangal as FUT look to defend it. 2 players strong. This is likely going to be a pop out, see what's up, and vacate the premises for FUT, and we'll probably want to go for a 5-mine retake if it's given the opportunity to do so. Symmetry gets away with a freebie. A bit of a punish back though. Result able to get another one, and the crunch from Sangal is explosive. Back to a 2v2.
That's still tricky. Dan is still on HP. He needs to try and close in the distance, try and pick up that fight against Demon. He's able to get that kill. The fuse kit dropped as well. It goes down to a 1v1. Danis, P250 in hand, needs the headshot, but Dux is a little bit quicker, and he's going to collect all of the utensils dropped into our jungle as well. It all starts off with a nice 1v1 for Dux.
I'll tell you what, Ted, we're not slowing things down at all. We're keeping up the pace from the previous maps altogether, getting every round going to that final mark. 1v1 in the end, Jugs to win it out.
Yeah, I feel like if you were to make the calculations, by the way, lovely camera angle in the meantime, but there's probably a good amount of, let's say around 40-50% of the rounds have gone down to the wire, to a clutch, a 2v2, a 1v1, something like that. There's been a lot of them.
Yeah, there hasn't been too much of a difference between these 2 teams. Coming to this one, though, round number 2 has been a specialty each and every time we've seen a force buy today, and that means Overpass, Ancient, and Mirage follow the same trend.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Force buy coming in, looking like a bit of a default for now. Actually, I was going to say a B split, but the bomb alongside Patsy as well, making its way down under. Still end up being a bit of a B split. Of course, updated nade sounds, so don't get surprised by how weird the smoke, the HEs, the flashes all sound.
Have you noticed a difference in the subtext shooting as well? You know, there have been a few people that have said it's made quite the big deal.
I think it... Look, I didn't have too much time to test it out. I played a little bit of DM. Sure. I think there is a little bit of it, but the players are the people that need to tell us if it's noticeable when they play 10 hours a day, you know?
Absolutely. Because that's when you see the off chances where things don't really go to plan. Wow. And this really, though, falls in place for FUT. exactly the way they would have liked. Flash out, and Demon seizes a chance to swing from his higher angle to do the damage. If you're Sangal, you're a little bit scared about how this can progress. You still have the bomb clacks, but you have no teammates. Headshots do connect, but Krebani closing up the distance from behind in apartments will be the end of you. 2-0 for FUT.
Yeah, this is perfect. By the way, one thing that we haven't touched upon is the fact that there is a little bit of history between the cores of those two lineups, right? As we said, it's been a long time since they've played against each other, right? The last time was on the 7th of May, and that was back when FUT was still Navi Junior, and obviously Sangal was still Astrom, or at least the core of it. That was a game that took place in the Thunderpick World Championship, and that was a 2-0 for Navi Junior. And the only other time this year that they played against each other was actually the ECL Season 49. Navi Junior again won that game in a 2-1 fashion.
Team stab onto symmetry.
We don't talk about the stab. Yeah. At least it's against the Pistols.
True. That is very much true. You didn't say we don't talk about it, but I do want to talk about it. Imagine if a round comes down to, 61 point of damage, that could be.
Imagine Symmetry's down in a 1v1 against the Digo and he just gets body shot.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it could be a difference.
We're going to be a glass half full type of broadcasting duo for this one.
You don't tell me what to do.
I don't.
Oh, don't worry about it. Here we go.
I wasn't ready.
No, you definitely were not ready for that. But Launex, thankfully, is fully prepared for what Sangal has got in store for them in mid. Yeah, there's not much pressure that you can inflict here on out, Sangal. You're being poked and prodded from multiple directions. You're hoping some shots connect, but I'm making this easy at all. Coordinate it with flashes, coordinate it with double-sided peaks, so even if you do connect with a headshot, your life will be traded. 3-0 for FUT, and that one was smooth. Yeah, Mirage is one of the maps on which we should be able to tell the difference between Demon getting to actually be a little bit more involved in the aggressive plays and not, right? We're going to see himself and Krebani being... Well, not himself and Krebani, sorry, but himself and Low and X putting a lot of pressure in towards middle. Krebani obviously in towards that A-bomb side, but he's going to be helping them out as much as he can. Lethal play for Sangal yet again, but FUT want to respond quickly. Two players looking to amp up the pressure in mid, but the double flash from Sangal will be enough to scare them off. Yeah, you put some early pressure on the T's though. Doing a good job to hold on to it, not give the CTs any fights early on their own terms. And we're starting to slowly get into that pretty methodical approach coming out of Sangal. As we pointed out, for a CAS team, they actually played quite a rapid style of Counter-Strike. As long as it's under their conditions. Look at the pushing towards B-Apps, by the way. Krebani's slowing things down in towards Connector, but Demon's getting a lot of space. Yeah, and he's on a bit of an off angle. Krebani will pre-fire that position, though. That is a decent result, decent outcome, awareness, especially given that he's down to 3 points of health. It's a bit tough symmetry, though. The timing on this, again, the Dean starts to land for Sangal, but they're just not enough. Flash out, though, and Danis might seize the chance. And you don't expect the second player here, do you? You do, but Demon quicker to the trigger, and now he's got the players dropping to deal with, and isn't there on time. You've got 3 players available to you, but 2 only to the defense. You're waiting for Krebani to move into apartments, but you might not even need him, Patsy. He's under a world of hurt. A hot seat, but flames consuming him from everywhere. At this point, FUT do not allow Sangal to have a say just yet. Yeah, and this is a team ace coming out of FUT, by the way. This is the best start to a map that we've seen out of them. This is probably the first time we've seen that big of a difference, right? Sangal had a similar lead on the previous map and a 5-2 on the CT side, but it doesn't really feel like FUT intend to slow things down. Demon just wasn't heard. They tried to clear him out, still able to get his 1 kill, and Krebani already coming in with the backstab. FUT playing some really heads-up aggressive Counter-Strike on that CT side. Down to the pistols again for Sangal. The lack of a bomb plant forcing them to go for a bit of a lighter investment. I wonder how you disturb things if you're Sangal, because it feels like in the middle of the round you're getting picked apart. So probably try and keep things simple with something pacier. And indeed, it is a change of approach. Rapidly closing up the distance onto the site. Demon using the smoke as cover. But there are some random shots being sprayed that are connecting. Not quite the finishers, though, and FUT have regained full control over the site. Not that they've ever lost it. Sure, you switch up positions for clacks, but how many do you get away with? As soon as you pull the trigger on one, the rest will be alerted to this angle. 2 picks is all Sangal get on this B quick bop. But it's a 5-0 for FUT, and it's starting to get a bit troubling.
Yeah, it really is. Demon is your B anchor, and he's on 8 and 2. As we pointed out, they've got a really unique way of getting him involved, and this is something that we've noticed, by the way, throughout the last couple of weeks. It becomes a lot more trendy for players to, or for teams to find ways to get their really strong aiming anchors more involved in the CT side play, right? This is something that, let's say, Parivision does with Belchanok on a lot of the maps. Same thing that we're seeing out of FUT and Demon.
Well, you were talking about heads-up plays earlier. Danis, well-positioned to pick up symmetry. I feel like it's the first time we've been seeing Sangal play off of an advantage in this game so far. Demon spots out Danis yet again, knowing he's still stuck around.
First time in a while we've seen them get an opening kill like this and get the opportunity to slow things down. Important to see how they finish it off. This is the best opportunity you've had to win a round. You definitely don't want to throw that opening kill away. Thing is, FUT again seems to have the right read. Demon is just going in towards short. They have 3 players leaning in towards the A-bomb side. Laonex is pushed deep in towards the ramp, ducks in towards Ticket, and Krebeni's ready to pounce. They are ready.
This is risky. A cheap
He's walked away.
Don't spot him. Gets away with one, and Jug's there as reinforcements. There is some fight back. Clax, what a great shot onto Krebeni, crossing out of the connector smoke. And Demon is in trouble, realizes his opponent's nearby. Patsy hits a drop, 25 seconds, and Sangal needs to get a move on. Danis knows of it, so he's going to try and go and take the fight first. Surely he knows Demon is locked into this angle. He's trying to pre-fight. Smoke phase though, and Jugs gets the jump. It's instantly 13 seconds on the clock, but Bomb needs to get crossed towards Jugs. Is able to double up by the end. FUT on relentless.
It's all about the reposition. He didn't know. He thought he was still in towards the left-hand side of the jungle. You can't lose around like this. Look at that kill out of Demon as well. It's so clean. The smoke fading away in the most opportune of moments. This is so unfortunate for Sangal. This is definitely one that's going to leave you a little bit frustrated.
Oh, that's definitely his thing, Ted. That is absolutely hurting for Sangal. They got so close. Just wasn't meant to be. But you've got to give kudos to FUT for these mid-round adjustments. Their smart plays to try and get these marginal advantages. It's brilliant to see.
Looking to switch up the pace once again, go for something quicker.
Laonex.
Walk through the smoke potential. Laonex needs to be really careful about this.
They know he's here. He's alerted them.
Oh my God.
It's a bit stressful, isn't it? But all under control. Just a casual walk in the park by the end of things. I don't know why I got so stressed. This was actually pretty clean.
I can't believe they win this round without dropping a single player, by the way. Laonex is able to get a 4-piece out of it. It looked like it could all easily go out of control, but now you got to look at the money and actually address this. FUT, not only have they already secured a win in that first half, but they've got money for days. Dex is on 11k, and he's got that bonus 200 as well. He's never going to get reset. He can live through Christmas with that amount of money.
Yeah, imagine the gifts he could get with that. You get an iPhone. You get an iPhone. Modern day opera, dude, I'm telling you.
For whatever reason, the image in my mind is just socks with a smartphone on them.
Sure, yeah, well.
That would be the ultimate bait.
I wouldn't mind opening up my stocking and there being a phone in there.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind opening up my stocking and having a Symmetry who's getting an opening kill in there as well. And look at Demon again. He's been so cheeky with those plays against the against that T side in towards B apartments. Look at him go.
It's Demon walking forwards, but it's Sangal that it feels like are walking up the plank.
They're getting crushed. I mean, he's just gonna get a kill and get out of there. Hello, goodbye, thank you very much.
You know the saying, up the creek, no paddle? Well, Demon went up the creek and he had a bulldozer.
They've just lost the entire map already. I mean, you're looking at it. Try and put yourself in the shoes of the T's, right? You have 3 players on middle. The only thing that you think you might have going for you is Claxton towards ladder. Bomb picked up, sure, but you've got no presence in towards B-Apps, none in towards ramp, Palace, and now Clax has lost every single one of his teammates. So, yeah, you're a good position. Doesn't really make that big of a difference, and this could be as clean of a round as it gets. Even if he does get 1 kill, it doesn't really change too much. FUT are dominating.
Clax is just... He knows this is a guaranteed kill, so he's hoping for a little bit extra. Kobeni pre-firing. This could easily be just a headshot position. The molly should do it. That's a good right click. Underarm throw. 2 picks. 13 seconds, though. And that's never going to go your way, is it? I guess it's not lonely anymore. That's a positive. Down on the ground, like the rest of his teammates. 8-0 though, Ted. We've had such a close series. We said that Ancient didn't reflect how the game went. 13-6 wasn't the feel, the vibe we got from it, right? So many close endeavors where Sangal remained relevant in the game. But right now, this is just FUT not threatened.
They've got 15 kills. All of them combined. 8 rounds in. Dux has got 8. Demon's got 10. Lonix has 11. Lonix alone has just 4 kills less than the entire team of Sango, and this is 8 rounds in into an elimination map as well. And that's a quick reminder to everyone at home. The loser of this one is out of the ESL Challenger League Season 50 EU Cup 2. This is a lower bracket matchup. Winner of this one goes through, and that would be the 3rd scalp that FUT take in that lower bracket as well. As we pointed out, this is only the first time that Sango are actually playing with elimination on the line, and it might be their last as well.
Welcome to the lower bracket, folks. Seems like it's FUT's domain. We're gonna eliminate 3 teams in a row. Johnny Speeds, Ents, Sangal.
All big names as well, right? All difficult games, I guess. I mean, Johnny Speed's probably the only one that you would say FUT are the heavy favorites to win, but both Ents and Sango pretty 50-50 matchups.
Well, there's nothing 50-50 about the first 8 rounds of this map. And probably not much in it for this round either. Laonex, easiest shot of his life.
Everything's just plugged. Every single avenue covered. You're just not getting surprised.
Oh, is it?
All right.
Oh
my God.
Is that the quickest caster's curse we've ever seen? Oh, no. Symmetry should be able to get 1 pick at least from this. Although they know where he is, and there is a deep position taken up from Norway. At least Patsy goes down, so number advantage still for the FUT side. Symmetry struggling a little bit. Knows there is pressure. Oh dear. If you're Laonex, be cautious. First pick, spray down, damage onto Clags. Demon to make his move. What a round would this be for Sangal to collect? Started only with Deagles. But the Kalashnikov does Clax the final favor. Goodness me. Sangal, welcome to Mirage.
Yeah, it's all about, I guess, getting the chances that are going to be presented to you. I have no clue how this is the round that they win out of all of them. That was a 3 versus 5 with just the pistols. But hey, you know what? It's all about getting a start. All about getting an opportunity. And I will say, I do apologize officially. That was the ultimate caster curse.
It really was, wasn't it? Oh, dear.
They had only pistols, man. It was
and it was a 5v3. Yeah, it's just how the turntables sometimes, Ted. How the turntables, Krubeni wanting to get a jump in his opponents. Don't let them get too comfortable with winning. Default setup, though, for Sangal so far. And FUT not really willing to give them too much. Jugs with a bit of an exploration play. Pop flashed into ramp. No one around. And it's Danis with first blood.
Yeah, it felt like they wanted to let go of middle, right? That's why you're flashing Jugs in towards the ramp. But the fact that he doesn't see anyone and there's no pressure on Demon felt like Krubeni just offered himself in towards middle. Hopes to catch him in a bit of a timing. So this is another opening kill out of Sangal. Not that it's been enough for either one of those teams to win round so far in the last couple. Symmetry with a bit of a wayward shot. Pressure on him.
Struggling. The past couple of rounds.
Should be dead.
Can he redeem himself? Deep angle for Patsy. The reinforcements arrive, and they definitely are impactful. Yeah, maybe Symmetry doesn't need to shoot his gun. Laonex and Demon are here. Sure. How about that? Symmetry thinking about taking a few steps forward, spots out a pixel. It's enough to shoot the gun, goes for the quick scope. But Danis, all by himself with 20 seconds to work with, isn't much. What a headshot, though, to connect. And if you're able to isolate one more, it could be it. But Symmetry draws out the USP. And that one's a little bit more trustworthy, apparently. 9 on the board. Sangal interrupted before a streak is created.
That's like having a cold bucket of ice and nearly frozen water right on your head, right? You finally get around. You find, and we're not doing the ice bucket challenge, right? It's not for a nice cause right now, if you're asking Sango. You just get around. You get a little bit warmer. You're like, well, we've won a 3v5. Some nice shots hit. This is where we get hyped up. And then you go into the next round, and Symmetry, who should have been dead to rights, is able to get away with a triple like this. You need more. One round is not going to cut it.
No, for sure. Couple rounds left in the half. So 2 opportunities. Sangal close up the distance a little bit. You cannot. Oh, a forward. Another loss. Kribeni, first blood. With Danis's fluke. There comes a punish. Heavy mid presence for Sangal, though.
Yeah. Look at the boost, though. Oh, all right.
Surprise.
Good shot out of Norway. Not usually known to be an pretty in-game leader, but still able to get away with something. And Lonex, he's absolutely crazy.
And he's out. Patsy can't punish either. How do you even get away with that? Disgusting, Lonex. Klax and Result now left, and they both need to provide a double kill to get things going, but now Klax with plenty.
Look at Zux. Zux is flanking Palace. They can just
around
wait.
the world.
Zux can just scream, but Lonex won't listen. He just collected a triple kill.
17 and 6.
Yeah.
How about that?
We can say that one again. We can say it together. It doesn't make it less impressive. Actually emphasize a lot more on it. Lonex is just having a field day. All of them are having a field day.
Yeah, I can't say the same for Sangal, though. What happened? Overpass seemed like the cleanest map we've seen from Sangal. They looked terrific, completely in line with each other. A lot of organized play.
Look at them.
Smiling at us, as always.
Who is your favorite Dispatch character?
My favorite character?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to watch them again. Let's be fair.
All right.
But Hugo is up there for sure.
Okay.
All of them are so funny. I don't know, man. It's hard to choose.
This is probably a base.
Put me on the
answer.
spot.
I do love myself a little bit of stunner action.
Oh yeah, solid.
And of course Chad Burchill.
Chad Burchill, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick. It's hard to pick.
Always a trustworthy one. It's a great series. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go and do that. Yeah.
Oh.
We've got a lot of great content coming to you alongside DHL.
Well, Tick Timeout didn't take long to resolve itself. Back into action again. Last round of the half, Sangal putting their hands deep in their pockets for this one. But nothing much has come out of it. Symmetry, give him a chance. But he says no to that. Already out from Tetris, though. Jugs on the receiving end of Klax's drop. Nothing achieved. Molly on Tetris, so denies a deep entry. Patsy, there's a bit of pace in this push now. A couple picks found. 3v3. Kribeni loses his life. It could be over. Demon there to back up the position. Danis, the only player to find damage this round for Sangal, goes down without a blink of an eye. 11-1 is the score. Be back after the break, folks. Second half, but impending doom for Sangal. back, folks. Time to get rolling for the second half, but it might not last long. Only 2 rounds required for FUT to just seal the deal here and continue their grim reaping ways.
Well, that's been a one-sided third map. Quite like the first and the second. You could look at the score and say one team was dominating. The difference is on the first 2 maps we actually had some closer rounds. Here FUT have been, without a doubt, a better team. Looking like they're just 1 pissed around away from eliminating Sangal. And look at how proactive Sangal are trying to be here, but there's no fights being presented.
They've avoided the first 2 shots like the Matrix, but there is a reply back from Sangal. They're being quite diligent, patient, not wanting to overstep. They've got the advantage, can't give it over right now, but they might have just handed over the hurdle. 2v2, Krabeni doing monster work on the pistol. He's unstoppable, and
so
both
low.
Sangal players are just 5 and 17 points of health apiece.
22 HP, you gotta reposition, you gotta look for some type of another advantage, and that's exactly what Patsy's trying to do, going all the way around in towards T-spawn. Thing is, Norway's the one with the kit. If he goes down in towards jungle, this could be an issue.
He turns around, Krabeni, he's got the timing on it. Or does he?
Oh my god.
Patsy
was thinking.
You've got to land the headshot, and indeed he does. Jug's all he needs to blow away. And he's already dealt with the first. Norway out, Patsy with 3 to his name. Jugs just needs to make this one a double, and indeed he does. No, never under trouble, never under pressure there. But 12 on the board for FUT means just one thing. Force buy required for Sangal to keep them afloat for, what, how many rounds now, Ted?
Man, those Mirages are wild. 11 in a row they need. Were you trying to test me in maths there?
I mean, it's not particularly
12 minus
equation
1 is
to,
not, yeah.
Just, it wouldn't be too big of a test, would it?
Yeah, I think it's a complicated one. That would be, on a serious note though, that would be absolutely terrifying. Now you're looking at FUT. 13-9 Batera, 13-8 Gun5, 13-9 Johnny Speeds, 36 ends. And now potentially a 13-1 against Sangal. This is turning out to be a phenomenal domination.
There's no beating around the bush here at all. Straight to the point. Norway holds on for a little bit. Double kill collected, but other than that, FUT have got a 2v1 situation. Did Krabeni hit Danis? Danis certainly did.
Hello.
And it's a 1v1. Looks like it's not over just yet, Ted.
Jux has got all the info though, right? And he's not overcomplicating stuff. He knows he's got the timing. Get that bomb planted in towards that A bomb site. It's all about where Danis is coming from. He's repositioned once again. Is he going B?
There's something very free-flowing about Jugs.
Now he knows.
Danis realized it's not a B plant. Popping out of Palace is a bit dangerous.
There's no kit. He can smoke the bomb, but he doesn't have a kit.
Yeah, you're hoping that Jugs jumps the gun here, gets a bit nervous, but that doesn't happen. Instead, 13-1 will be the score. What a turnaround by FUT. By gosh and golly, not what we expected, Ted, moving into this. Not what we expected after the first, after the second. This third map was a big surprise.
Yeah, it's a big hit for the side of Sangal. They're going to be going out of the ESL Challenger League, but what a result that is for FUT. The Grim Reapers of the lower bracket at this point, we can safely say this is the 3rd consecutive best of 3 that they win in elimination games. Every single time they go into it, they get to play a Mirage, and they absolutely dominate on it. FUT, keep on fighting.
It is an amazing map to have in your back pocket, isn't it? You know, every single time they've had to deal with a team in this lower bracket, like you said, it was 3 in a row now. They needed a third map, and indeed, Mirage is being quite the consistency for them. It's a little bit sad for Sangal as well, seeing how well they perform on Overpass, their potential when they are firing on all 5 cylinders, right? When all of them are performing in the way you'd expect, when they're aligned, but it's a little bit strange falling flat like this in the final instance.
Yeah, it really is, right? It's a bit disappointing considering that Sangal have been hitting some great form. It's been a while since we've seen them get stomped like this. And I feel like they themselves will probably want to have a bit of a conversation after this game. But it's all about realizing that it's all about the long run, right? Those guys are showing improvements. They're out of the event this time around, but they are still playing better and better. And for the side of FUT, they get to face up against another team that is on hot streak. Or has been in the last couple of weeks. They get to play against ESC that in the same time as this game was happening, 2-0 Nexus. So that's going to be a really interesting one. I believe that one's going to be taking place on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central European.
Well, let's see what the bracket looks like from here on out as things have progressed after this one. We've had some games go on simultaneously, so there are some updates on your screen. It looks like we'll be playing up against ESC as they got their 2-0 win against Nexus. And we got a cool matchup as well on top, as it looks like as well, Ted.
Yeah, absolutely. Monty facing up against Hotu. I feel like Hotu, especially with Norbert, shout out Norbert one time, has been a pleasant surprise. And Monty getting a 2-1, or a 2-0 actually, but a really difficult win over the new iteration of Gun 5 with Griggs. But Monty have been playing some good Counter-Strike, so we've got a really stacked lower bracket in here. And of course, we've got Fnatic, Alliance 9, and BC Game in the upper bracket as well. So we are slowly reaching the final stages of the second European Cup for Season 50.
Yeah, reaching the twilight part of this stage. There are some upper bracket situations that have remained unchanged. Fnatic Alliance, their 9, as well as BC Game, very strong performances across the board from them. They'll be finding themselves in the upper bracket final with an upcoming win.
Yeah, absolutely. For all of those teams, as we pointed out, quite a big result to potentially make it into the final. I'm sure every single team that is left in the tournament wants to lay their hands on that first place as well and get into the finals, get into that next stage, that next event, which is going to be the Season 50 Europe finals, as well as to get those 12K. But yeah, not only because of VRS purposes, but because of the fact that you get to, as we pointed out, keep on fighting for a spot in potentially one of the next seasons of EPL, which is where a lot of those teams want to be.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey so far, Ted, and for sure the competition is on, a lot on store and in line for all of these teams. You know, we saw how cutthroat it can be with teams like FUT in that lower bracket delivering, and when you've got so many other teams, you know, we were talking about Fnatic, Alliance, BC Game, 9, all of them could potentially drop to that lower bracket and destroy the potential dreams of the teams running in that lower bracket as well. So it's getting very competitive at this upper echelon, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think the level is really similar right now, and as much as this series did improve it, when you look at the maps, I think the first 2 maps were a great example of it. You see both those teams, even though they were able to get a really I guess convincing win on their respective map picks, the rounds were incredibly close. Individually, everyone is close to one another. The difference is not massive when it comes down to the skill margin, so it all depends on who's going to be on a better day. You know, you've got your wild card teams like Hotu, which is a massive dark horse that started from the first round of the lower bracket pretty much. They are the only other team alongside Monty and I guess FUT that have been having those really long runs. Monty, same story, right? They take down Favbet, they take down Venom, they take down 33, and now they take down Gun 5, and there's been a couple of those teams that are just farming and dominating through the lower bracket.
Well, folks, thank you very much for joining us today on the broadcast. Again, same place, same time as well tomorrow. More action to follow. And there's always something on here at the ESL Challenger League. Thank you again and have a very good evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are away.